Okay, welcome back. It is 4/4 of 2015. We're going to take a look at Robert Jenson's doctrine of final judgment, which he says is a concert of grace. So it's a very unique look, but it's a pretty concise but still pretty powerful. So we're going to take a look at the first moment. It's the juridical moment of divine power. Judgment is not the sorting out of satisfactory and unsatisfactory human beings. Judgment, Jenson says, is about the restoration of the believing community to its right order. And it's defined within the tension of the old Israel and the new Israel. The old, after Israel became a political community, judgment was served by appointed officers, or as we know, the Judaic council within the community, and usually they were Sadducees, but the Judaic council. But under the new Israel, or the new Jerusalem, messianic judgment will be done by one who does not judge by what the eyes can see. It will be a new type of judgment. 5 aspects of the Ezekiel description give us a pretty good summary of what the Judaic belief was. It will be the appearance of the Messiah. It will be a process of rectifying the injustices that the Judaic council could only partially resolve. It will be a gathering up of the chosen, and it will also include rectifying the accumulated wrongs that could only be partially taken care of by the Judaic council. Now in the New Testament, the judgment will be conducted by Jesus Christ and his disciples. And so Jenson gives us 5 aspects of divine juridical power as belonging to the Son who possesses the wisdom of the Father. He will judge according to his role as Son of Man, not Son of God. That's important to distinguish. He will judge according to his role of Son of Man. The juridical divine power will provide the standard for his judgment, but it'll be a judgment based on his role as Son of Man. So Christ judges as Son of Man while identifying with the divine Son. He actually judges while he himself constitutes the truth by which he judges. So he is the content and the form of judgment. It is the Father who is actually exercising his juridical power over all creation, but it is being done through the Son as Son of Man and within the realm of spirit. So if we take a look at this standard of the juridical divine power, but being implemented through the Son of Man role of Jesus Christ, then we can look at it as moment 2, the concert of triune righteousness. Jenson gives us 4 aspects. It is a judgment that rectifies. It is the rectification of the chosen community, bringing humanity into a concert with triune righteousness. It is orchestrated solely by the death and resurrection of Jesus Christ, and it transcends the normal modalities of judgment, which would be the principles of comparison. The entire modality of principles of comparison is transcended. The judgment is twofold. It is excision and redemption. There will be the excision of evil by consigning it to the past, and there will be the act of redemption as the openly revealing power of redemption that is no longer restricted. So it will include excision and redemption. And so for the third moment, Jenson wants to take a look at the resultant content of this New Testament view of final judgment. And he calls it a type of restoration. Life after death can only be a hope if there's actually a content that is promised for it. And he says that any question of restoration raises the Ezekiel question of Ezekiel 37:3, mortal can these bones live? Now for Christianity, the Ezekiel question is answered in Jesus is risen. The apostolic creed. And resurrection is an assurance to believers because the eschatological spirit is already inhabiting the church. The eschatological spirit of God's future is already inhabiting the church. And so for Jenson, he says our actual end is a supernatural end achievable by Christ's death and resurrection. And he summarizes with just a 3-point restoration after judgment. Number 1, it will be the overcoming of death that was an intrusion into creation. And that will enjoin itself with a simultaneous act of a true transformation of finitude. And then third, and most significant, is that the Creator's achievement of his original end for creation will be attained, because the soteria of salvation and redemption was planted at the moment of creation. So final judgment will actually be the achievement of this original end that was posited by the Creator. The original end for creation will be fulfilled. So it's a very concise presentation. It's only 10 pages, 322 to 332. But he wanted to point out the fact that, kind of falling back on his metaphors of music, he likes the metaphors of aesthetics and music, and he kind of falls back on that and envelops his view of final judgment within the enveloping eschatological future of God's glory as the eschatology of grace. And so it becomes a concert of grace. And it gives us a great view